Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we cover a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about Star-Lord, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
Good morning, everybody. I'm assuming it's morning when you're listening to this out there in podcast land. How is everybody doing? How are you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing great, and anytime I have work, this podcast does not come out until late morning or early afternoon. So that's bold.
Yeah,
Fred. That's
that's
bold.
probably true. That's probably true. However, we did get snowed in pretty badly here in West Virginia, so I'm guessing that you don't have work tomorrow?
I do not.
That you don't have to answer that question. I don't want to
I
dox you.
don't.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Brandon. How are you doing today?
All I know is that means it better be on time tomorrow, apparently.
I'm, I'm going to finish it after we're done recording and have it ready to go.
Okay. Okay. How are you doing, Steven? How are you?
I am fine. I'm dealing with a little bit of chill down here in South Carolina, but since I'm from Cleveland, I'm more prepared than all the other South Carolinians here.
Yeah. You were like the wise master surrounded by neophytes when it comes to the cold.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the one walking around in shorts and flip flops in Florida when everyone's wearing like winter jackets and stuff.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. So,
All right. Well, everyone, we've got the whole crew together today. I'm always happy when we've got these episodes. So let's get started. Let's start with let's start with upcoming events. Coming up later this week on the 20th of December, there is a tournament at South Charleston, Lost Legion Games and Comics. This is our local game store, and it's just a local event. No, there's no pressure. This is a friendly tournament that we're gonna have. I plan to be there, and so there will be a couple
That's
people.
funny, Fred, because I think you still haven't signed up.
Oh my goodness, I still
I
haven't
was,
signed up.
I was getting ready to say, has Fred signed up yet? These are very
Well, I
crucial
need to
things.
do that. You know, the last time that you pointed it out, we were mid-record of this podcast last week, and I completely forgot after we finished recording. So I need to do that, and I'm not going to do it while I'm recording. So I need to be reminded before we end. Okay, all right. Then coming up in January, on January the 8th, there is going to be a demo day. That is a Thursday, by the way. There's going to be a demo day at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. I plan to be there to help run the games. These are fun for people who have never played the game before. It's a good place for them to learn just how the game plays, just the flow of the game, and to get them interested, to show that this game about little models of superheroes can be fun. So if you know anybody who's interested in the game, push them towards us on January the 8th. Okay. Then on the 17th of January, there is another local tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics. This is, again, just a local event, not a major one. And then on the 24th of January, there is a tournament at Old School Games in Toledo, Ohio. This is the Appalachian Cup event for Toledo, and it is sold out. However, if you live nearby, there is a strong possibility that not everyone who has signed up will be able to make it. And if that's the case, it may behoove you to show up if you are interested and if it's not too far out of your way. I myself will not be able to because it is very far out of my way. But I just wanted to say that even though the tournament is currently sold out, that does not mean that you won't be able to play if you show up. All right, that's it for January. So let's not keep going forward. That's too far forward. Let's talk about some announcements and some not so much news, but some Michigas that Will Schick spoke about on a podcast recently. Uh, how should we break this up? Should we talk about each character that he mentioned point by point?
Yes.
Okay. All right. As I said, Will Schick was recently on a podcast. Do we know which podcast it was?
I don't.
I don't either. So he was on a show somewhere, and he was talking about changes to upcoming changes to characters.
Fred, I
And
believe it was Game Store Guardians.
Game Store Guardians. That's the okay. So it was Game Store Guardians. Let's go through each character that he mentioned when he was talking about possible changes.
Correction, it was not Game Store Guardians. It was the Gamers Guild. Correction. Sorry.
Okay, it was the Gamers Guild. All right. Okay, first off is Mr. Sinister. What he mentioned is power and token economy improved. I've never played Mr. Sinister, so I don't know what really is the problem. When I have played it against him,
the problem with him, Fred, is that it's really hard to get power and tokens on him.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's fair. When you've played him, he always seemed to have a ton of tokens and a ton of power. That's partially because
you're
played
bad.
him. You played him as tech against me playing Web Warriors.
For the record, I don't think he needs super tuned. I think a couple small adjustments will make him playable.
Yeah. That seems to be what
that seems to be what they're doing. They're just doing small adjustments.
All right, so that's Mr. Sinister. That's all that's mentioned. We don't know specifics on any of these. He was being intentionally vague, but that's okay. I just wanted to talk about these. These are relevant. All right, the next character up is War Machine, and he said that War Machine getting his spender online and making it exciting to use. His spender sucks. That's the problem with him, because you take damage for every crit that you roll, but each crit blows up twice. Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's something like that. Yes. Each crit blows up twice, but you take a damage every time you roll a crit. And the problem with that is that oftentimes you end up killing yourself. And that sucks. That sucks if that happens. I think that just a couple changes could make that a much better spender. He also needs to have a way to spend power other than his spender. Because isn't that the problem with him, is that he has no other way to spend power? Yeah.
Someone sometime mentioned it'd be cool if he had charge and hit and run, and I agree. That would be cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. I think they're trying to adjust him so that he's playable, not make him way too powerful.
I don't think that's too powerful.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I think he would see a lot of play with Sam if he had both of those abilities.
Yeah, I think that he would be incredible. All right. The next character that was discussed was Omega Red. He said that nothing super major, but smooth out the kit with quality of life updates. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's
Omega Red's card very much reads like it was written 3 years ago.
Yeah, like reduce the cost of his spender. Omega Red is good. Like, he's not bad. It's just his spender's too expensive. There's a couple other things. You're right. He sounds like he was designed and written 3 years ago, and just a couple tweaks would make him really quite good still. So I feel like he just needs a little bit of love, just like Sinister. Okay, here's probably the one that's here's a big one. She-Hulk. She-Hulk healthy/injured split, 10 HP each side. Instead of having her be all on one side, like a Hulk, she's going to have a healthy and an injured side and have 10 health on each side. This is a huge change. I think a huge improvement.
It doesn't
Like,
say in this write up, but I think he also hinted that there might be other changes, but that this was the biggest.
okay, yeah, yes. So like that I feel like that is a fix to She-Hulk. That is something that would make her much more playable. And I feel like she's playable now. Like she's not a bad character to put on the table. She just feels bad because she's a sixth threat if she just gets picked up. Like if someone spikes real hard into her and does 15 damage to her, she feels like she was not worth the sixth threat. I
She
think
doesn't
that
have enough defensive anything to really stay alive.
And the
Like,
other thing is conditions. They just stick to her.
yeah.
and being able to flip her over fixes both of those problems. Or it doesn't fix her
It
not having
helps.
defensive tech, but
It,
it
it
helps.
helps.
Right. Okay. He also mentioned sensational She-Hulk will also have a healthy and injured side. Only having one big healthy side will be a Bruce Banner only thing moving forward, is what he said. Brandon, what's your takeaway from that?
It just means that the upcoming Red Hulk is gonna have a healthy and an injured side.
Uh-huh.
That's I think the biggest thing we can take from that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if Red Hulk isn't Bruce Banner,
God, it better not be.
it
Is
has.
that I don't.
He's never been a Red Hulk in the comics, but that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes
Yeah.
they just make stuff up.
To be fair, there are a lot of people who play this game, or probably play this game, and live in this world that have no idea that Red Hulk and regular Hulk are different people.
I did hear.
I mean,
and this is exciting, that the Red Hulk model has an alternate head with a mustache.
I mean, to Brandon's point, if I were just a touch less tuned into the movie world, I wouldn't know that Red Hulk and Green Hulk weren't the same person.
Oh, until when that movie came out, like I said,
Right.
there's probably most people probably didn't.
I would not have known if you asked me this 8 months ago. When did that movie come out? Something like that.
February 14th.
Yeah. Then.
Perfect Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah. What a piece of. Okay. All right. Not here to talk about a Marvel movie. Okay, so that's sensational She-Hulk. All right, Shang-Chi. 1-inch punch becomes a range 1 effect. But it's framed as a highlight, and he mentions changes plural to him. So they're probably changing a lot about Shang-Chi, which is, I mean, Shang-Chi is a little bit too good. Let's be a little frank here. He needs some adjustments, and I think that changing 1-inch punch to being range 1 helps, so that you can't, you have to be a lot closer in to be able to push people around. I'm a little worried that they're going to overtouch him, because they tend to do that. He is really good. He's perhaps the best 4 threat in the game. And yeah, so I guess that's on.
I
That's
do
what
worry
they're thinking
about. I worry two things with Shang-Chi. One, the way this is read now, they could have, put words in there that weren't exactly spoken, but it kind of feels like they may be pseudo rewriting his entire card. Framing a highlight makes it feel like they're changing a lot, and it feels like they might make certain things better than certain things worse, and kind of maybe flip what's good and what's bad about him. I don't know if there's anything really all that bad about him, but I think if killing this character, if they do to this character what they did to Thor 2, it almost certainly destroys Defenders as an affiliation, which hurts because they're finally in a okay place, but he's a big part of that.
I mean, we're trying to read the tea leaves of a secondhand understanding of an interview on a podcast. I don't know what the future holds for Shang-Chi. If past is prelude, then they're gonna overtouch him. Like that's what they
Yeah.
tend to do nowadays. But we'll see. Uh, Coming up later, actually, the next thing he does mention changing Thor 2, a little bit of an adjustment to help with things that weren't his fault and changed around him. So I feel like Thor 2, they realized that they overtouched him and they're going to adjust him back up a little bit. I don't think again, we're trying to read the tea leaves and we don't know what he's actually thinking and what he means when he's saying things so vaguely as what he's saying. But my guess is they're going to buff Thor 2 a little bit. And maybe they won't be as heavy-handed with the nerfs if they touch Shang-Chi, but we shall see. We shall see. And then finally, he mentioned Hulkbuster. No info given except he's getting changes. So Hulkbuster is getting changes, probably needed, probably necessary. And then, quote, a lot of buffs and some dialbacks in the next batch. Nothing is off the table. And if I'm, oh, that's an incomplete sentence. Okay. But yeah, nothing is off the table. So that is what we have from this podcast from Will Schick. I'm interested to see what these changes are. The past set of changes were only buffs. Is that right? The Christmas buff package is what it seemed like.
Well,
And
sure. Mm-hmm.
And
My boy
we were
Sentinel
expecting-
Prime would argue with you, but sure.
They were
Your
all they
voice
were all
Sentinel Prime is
intended to
gonna be
be
fine.
they were all intended to be buffs.
Your voice Sentinel Prime is doing fine. I think that there's Terrigenesis is probably on the chopping block. Again, just reading the tea leaves, but I was surprised that didn't happen last time. And we'll see. We'll see.
I hope we get more missions rotated in.
I mean, we know when the mission pack is coming, and that's probably when we'll get more missions. I don't know if they're going to like slow release them. I don't think that's what they're going to do. They're going to probably just let everyone get the pack when it is available.
Well, I hope Shang-Chi gets a good look at, but not too terrible. But I also hope that in the same breath that they look at his at Silver Sable in the same pack and probably give her a little bit of a touch up, so that box is not, you pay one price just for one character.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're correct. You're correct that is a one character box because Silver Sable does not see a lot of play.
I bought that
And
box
she
of
probably
Silver
does need
Sable.
Okay, never mind. I take it back.
No, you're right. He's wrong. It's fine.
My
and
Shang-Chi's
those
not even
boxes
put
are getting
together.
and those boxes are getting combined, right? That the Namor box. Don't they have a 4-pack coming out?
Oh, I
Yeah, I
have
think-
no idea.
Wait, who?
I think you're right.
Sorry, I blanked for a second.
Namor box and the Shang-Chi box.
Ooh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why they're doing the changes. I mean, honestly, the only thing I could see for her is upping her health to 6/6. So,
I mean, that would help immensely. That would be a huge improvement.
But not touching Sable and nerfing Shang-Chi makes that box almost unbuyable.
We don't know what the nerf is to Shang-Chi yet. I mean, and this may be an academic thing because pretty much everyone already owns Shang-Chi. Let's be honest. He's really good, and he's in a lot of rosters.
well, anyway, it's just speculation, but I that's my little hope. That's all. So
Yeah, I agree. I see why you would hope that. and I think that you're correct. Okay, so that is what we know. That's all. At this point, we're just speculating. So I think that... Is there anything anyone else wants to say on this topic? If not, we can move right along to games that we've played recently. So I did not play any games recently. I was out of town on our game night. Brad, do you have any games you want to discuss?
Well, I ran a demo, and that went well. And then I played a game with Memphis, and he was playing X-Force, as he's been doing lately. And I let him pick what he wanted to play against, and he chose X-Men. And so I played Cyclops, King Black Bolt, some other people. I'm sure it was Gambit. And he played Cable. Oh, I played X-23. He didn't. He played Psylocke. Bullseye. Domino. I don't know. That might have been it. It might have been low points. I can't remember if there was anyone more. Anyway, Memphis dices us all the time, and that's how he wins games. And sometimes you can outplay him and win the game anyway. Sometimes the dice won't even let you do that. And this is the second time I've played Cyclops and King Black Bolt against Memphis, and it is the second time I've got to dice him for the game.
Hey, how did that feel?
It felt great. He's really reliant on dice luck and isn't as tactical of a player in the game yet. And so I think I won this game something like 21-3.
Holy crap. Okay. So you really diced him.
I diced him and outplayed him for the whole package.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. He had Baron Zemo because King Black Bolt was like destroying the side with Cable, Psylocke, and Baron Zemo. And then between Gambit and Cyclops on the other side, they didn't have much chance over there. And X-23 also shining star. Oh, I played Nightcrawler. That's who I played. Nightcrawler was the only character on my side today's.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you really
It's a
pretty one-sided game.
Yes.
Okay then.
So much so that he is quitting X-Force and he's gonna play Inhumans because that's.
Wait,
cool
are you serious?
No, he was making fun of you.
Oh, okay.
He recently bought Guardians though, and he is excited to try them out. So we talked about Guardians a little bit too.
I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Steven, do you have any games that you want to discuss?
Yes, actually, I do. I finally got some games in under the new system. I went up and I was playing in a tournament in Concord, North Carolina at the Mighty Maple, run by Tim Herron. He always runs a good setup up there. It was a Christmas party, so this was an unranked tournament. It was kind of for funsies, so I took what I would call my goofy guy list, and that was a MODOK criminal list with a flex into a Mephisto Legion of the Lost. I didn't think it was going to do well, but needless to say, I took Abomination and Wrecking Crew. I also took Sandman, Electro, Vulture, and Shocker, along with Mysterio and Hood. So as you can tell, I wasn't like too serious, but for reasons beyond me, my first game I played against Nathan, and he was playing our Dormammu list. And we ended up on Infinity Formula and Alien Ship. He had won the initiative for tactics cards. However, I had won the initiative to go first. So I had a plan, and then it went sideways because I'm like, I don't think Modoc's good into this. So I actually played Mephisto and his leadership for Legion of the Lost. His Dormammu had Echo, Luke Cage, and Weapon X. And then my Mephisto took along with him Abomination, Sandman, and Hood. So, needless to say, Weapon X charged first turn, and he immediately dazed Sandman, which was not good. I thought, oh boy, here we go. I am going to get knocked around here pretty good. So, needless to say, that kind of left my Mephisto on that side because I was hoping to have sand constructs around to, meet my associate. But needless to say, Sandman was gone by round 3, taken out by Dormammu. Mephisto was having a time over there, so much so that he had shifted his whole Dormammu, Echo, and Weapon X to that side. And Mephisto kind of cleaned up Weapon X. He had to save Echo by doing a sacrifice into a Dormammu. Meanwhile, on the other side, I just had Abomination and Hood hanging out at the other 2 points. Since we were on Alien Ship and Infinity Formula, of course, that gives you a lot of power, and I know you hate Alien Ship, Fred. So I was getting a lot of damage on Abomination because he had the Alien Ship, but Hood, with those bees, Hood was in enough range that I could just heal him. So I was scoring 3 points around while he was concentrating on trying to take Mephisto out. The big play of the game for me was that I had my Mephisto down to 2 health, and he was on his injured side. And Dormammu was about to go over there and kind of wreck his world. So I went with Abomination, and I moved twice with him and saddled up to the side of him. And I did my my radiation zone to give him poison, which I find very funny that Dormammu is not immune to poison. So I gave him that condition, and of course, with all the power I have from Infinity Formula and Mephisto's leadership, I then did a Gamma Burst to then push Dormammu medium away and give him damage. And then the next turn, I just walked Dormammu back, saving my Mephisto and scoring another point. So, needless to say, this game ended up with me 18 and Nathan at 11. So it was
Okay.
I think it was a good call for Mephisto, but Sandman going down quick. I thought he'd lost the game. So
I mean, good going. You stayed in it and you pulled out a win, even when you had a real bad turn starting off the very beginning.
yes. So next, I played a gentleman called Bryce, and we were on hammers and intrusions. I had won the role for doing scenario, and I also won the role for going first. He was playing Shield. He had Namor, Invincible Iron Man, Nick Fury Jr., Nick Fury Sr., and Crossbones Merciless Merc, because he just likes him. And I thought, okay, no big deal. But first turn with hammers with Abomination, I like his medium move because he can actually pick up 2 hammers. Then he sat on a far point, and the next turn, I just ran him back to a corner with 2 hammers, just scoring 2 points for a couple of rounds. In the meantime, I also took Wrecking Crew, Mysterio. I ran MODOK, Scientist Supreme, Leadership, and I had one more character. I had Shocker. That's who I had. And Shocker was annoying. Mysterio was annoying as always, also.
But the big play of the game came when Wrecking Crew did a slide into Crossbones Merciless Smirk, did 1 damage, and then they did their beam attack, and they clipped a light post, so it was a 5 dice beam that went into Crossbones, and it deleted him, and he dropped his hammer, and then Namor got some damage into him, and then I hit the Howling Commandos and did damage to them. As I took out Crossbones, he fired back, and they blocked everything out. Next turn, because I put the hammer next to me, so I was contesting it, so I could do the MODOK leadership if I needed to. And then after I got done with the beam, I picked it up. I did another 5 dice beam. This time facing Namor, and almost getting the Howling Commandos. They did a fire back again, and I blocked out that because I was only on 2 health at that time. I think he got 1 damage through. Namor drops his hammer after that, and I pick it up. And then I had enough power that I could do a take him down, boys. And I did the range 3 5 dice attack. Now it's 7 dice because I had 2 hammers, and I took out the Howling Commandos. So that was pretty big for the Wrecking Crew.
Wow.
They did pretty fantastic that game. And then Abomination came back into the fight. That turn, I also dazed Nick Fury. So the only person he had up was Iron Man, and I won that game 18-7. And then our last game was against Ethan. I've played Ethan before. We've always had good games. He was playing a Kingpin Criminal Syndicate, and I went with my MODOK Criminal Syndicate. He won priority for both roles, so he took his secures because he was situated for just standing by points instead of doing flips. But we had gotten Extremis and Superpower Scoundrels, and I was so happy that I could just say, no, we're not doing Superpower Scoundrels. So,
yeah.
But in my case, we also got Legacy Virus, which is a Kingpin scenario. He came in with a good team. It was Kingpin, Rhino, Prowler, Shadowlands Daredevil, and Black Cat, because we played at 19. I came in with Abomination, Wrecking Crew, Shocker, Vulture, and MODOK Scientist Supreme. Yes, I said Vulture. No, Vulture actually did really, really well.
I love Vulture. It's just he never does anything for me. Like I want him to do very well, so I'm glad to hear he did great.
So, needless to say, Wrecking Crew and Shocker were on one flank, and they were kind of taking on Prowler, which Prowler got the worst of that. Rhino was trying to pick on MODOK, but he was trying to get over to where Abomination and Vulture were, because that's where Shadowlands Daredevil and Black Cat were, and Kingpin was sitting on the back, which I didn't really care about. I just left Kingpin sit back there. But needless to say, Vulture was a good support piece for Abomination, because in round two, Abomination clocked Black Cat and dazed her right off the bat. And then the next go around, Vulture did his big attack, because I rolled at least one critical every time he did his stuff. And he did his big attack into Black Cat, and she got thrown. So
but that didn't daze her, and then Abomination just finished the job, and then Abomination reared up in round 4, and no, excuse me, I did my big attack into Shadowlands Daredevil, and I threw Daredevil into Black Cat, but she blocked it out. That's what happened. So I dazed Daredevil. Black Cat's already dazed. Abomination then rears his big ugly fist again, and then KOs Black Cat. And then the next turn, after that, I go with Abomination again, and he one shots Shadowlands Daredevil on his backside.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, Abomination
That's impressive.
Yeah, he was a wrecking ball in this. So, this game ends up 18-13 in my favor, and I win the little tournament.
Well
So-
done. You won them all 18, didn't you? You
I
had
did.
18 in all 3. Well done.
Yeah, Modoc Criminals is actually a kind of sneaky leadership, I found out.
I think Modoc's leadership is very good. It's very different than the other 2.
Right. So he's that's probably the team I'm going to play until I get my Guardians done. So it was a lot of fun. So like I said, lots of prizes. We had a white elephant swap for gifts. That was the entry fee. And Tim, he was great. He bought lunch for everybody. There were cookies, there were candies, and then prizes at the end. So overall, it was a very, very good tournament.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you got some games in with Criminal Syndicate. I'm gonna throw it to Brandon. Brandon, did you play any games that you want to discuss?
I don't know why no one's ever happy when I get games in with Criminal Syndicate. Why are you happy for him?
Yeah, because he wasn't playing Kingpin.
Seems unfair.
I said what I said there, bud.
No, I was supposed to play a game on Monday, but it got snowed out. I think we may try to run that back tomorrow, but
It's not looking good for you. I think
It's
the
not-
snow is done. I think the snow is done.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
got to
gonna
get the
be
ice
cold and
off the
miserable.
road. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cold will be fine. Obviously, I don't know. As long as it's not super windy, I can deal with the cold for the couple minutes I may be outside. But the
Well,
snow
have
and the
bad news
ice
for
are
you.
problematic.
It might be very windy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
temperature- It's going to be 9 degrees this evening, and it's supposed to be 50 degrees on Tuesday. So, I
Yeah.
mean, there's
That's
a big
the-
weather shift occurring.
And that's always the thing here, like, for those that aren't in West Virginia, like, honestly, like, when it's cold here and it's not windy, it isn't bad. But boy, oh boy, is that a rare occasion because it is
Mhm.
windy a lot. So no, I didn't get to play any games of this specific game that we're speaking about. I did get to play another game, but not as relevant.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move on to a recalibration matrix. So sometimes when MCP is errated, or sometimes, where there's some slight change to the way that a character plays just because of the nature of the game, or sometimes we're just playing wrong, we like to go back and reevaluate the score that we gave to a character that we've already done. And we do that in a place called the recalibration matrix. So today we're going to be recalibrating Dormammu, who recently caught a big errata, and he was made pretty much better. I'm going to throw this over to Brad. Brad, do you know, or who the person who would know? Brandon. Brandon, what?
Yeah, I'm here.
What all changed on Dormammu?
Yeah.
What changed on his
Let me
card?
pull it up real quick. I've got it here. My
Brad, do you
seat
have it up
back
right
fell
now?
backwards. All right.
No.
So his Shadow Bolt went from having wild triggers to skull triggers. The Incantation of Obliteration went from needing a shield to needing hit crit wild skull. Instead,
What you mean is that it lost needing a shield.
No,
Or
it replaced needing a shield. The shield, it used to not need a hit; it needed a shield, if I remember correctly. It needed crit wild, shield skull, I believe, and it now needs a hit crit, all offensive successes for him. Um, the ability to count skulls changed. He still counts skulls. It's just a different way to count them. So now it reads, additionally, when attacking, at the end of the modified dice step, add one skull result to the character's roll for each skull, and the defense roll when attacking. This character adds skull results in its roll to his total successes. So you get to add the skulls versus just counting theirs.
I guess the reason for that is that it lets you hit your triggers. Like you add the skull to your thing, and so instead of just counting their skulls as a success, you get to, if you rolled no skulls and they rolled one skull, you still get the skull trigger.
Yeah. So if you Shadow Bolt and you don't roll a skull but your opponent does, it adds to your pool, so you both get Sap Power and Hex. Same thing with Incantation of Obliteration. You're really just looking. You have a lot higher chance to at least get one of those triggers. The damage from the affiliation leadership stays the same but happens in the cleanup phase instead of the power phase, so there's no feel bad moments where you get dazed or KO'd before you can do anything. Not of this dimension did not change. Feel the power of darkness did not change. And he gained the keyword peerless.
Ah, the peerless keyword. Okay.
Also with his leadership Flames of the Faultine, it's now 5 or more power. It will suffer damage instead of 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was, he got buffed. That's everything that happened. Does not seem like a whole lot of buff, but it was. I think that as a whole, every change, except for I guess going from 6 to 5, triggers damage, but it happens at a better place. Like it happens in the cleanup phase instead of at the power phase.
It's effectively the same because it happened after you gain power.
That's right. Yes. So yeah. So it's the same.
That's why I forgot about it, because it effectively did not change, because ending your turn with 5 power usually meant you were getting hit with it, unfortunately. It means Dormammu gains the power at a different time. So it does allow you to play, like if you can set it up right, his tactics card where he brings someone back, you get the power before that, because I believe that's a cleanup card if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. He got this amounts to a pretty big buff.
Dark Restoration is in the cleanup phase and is 6 power. So if you take, say, 3 damage, you get 3 power on Dormammu. If you have 3 characters take a damage, that he gains 3 power, which can allow him to play this card in the cleanup phase easier.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Well, the person who plays him the most is Brandon. Brandon, what do you think about this?
I like it. The biggest thing for me has always been, I think these changes are good. I think the offensive changes are good. It bothers me that he doesn't count skulls in defensive results.
Okay.
I mean, for himself.
He just caught a big buff. Like, let's be honest. He's just caught this errata helps him a lot. And you're over here saying that his defensive rolls aren't improved enough by it?
That's the thing, is he doesn't really have defensive tech. I mean, he gets the push away, feel the power of darkness, but he only can gain 1 power at a time. I would trade a lot of these buffs for him to just have counted skulls in the defense roll. But I like it a lot. I think it's been good. He is in a situation right now where a lot of the characters in this game that were really detrimental to him are no longer in the game. well, are seeing a lot less play. Characters who can throw him, it's way less important for him to be thrown now because of the new throw rules. Because he is size
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yep.
6 damage into things is just an absolute unfair situation. I played the mirror match once and brought Carol Danvers 2.0, which just threw the opponent's Dormammu like 3 times in the game, and that was the entire game. Like, but also in the same breath, you can throw a lot more stuff at him and take some damage. But overall, it's definitely a positive. Like he's definitely playable. He's definitely seeing an uptick right now, but like I said, I think a lot of that is because some of the characters there's not a ton of super hard hitting characters being played right now. It's like we living in like a real mid-rangey world, so it's hard to do 22 damage to a two-sided character.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Well, what is your take on the changes, Brad?
I think he's a lot better. Just the fact that you can't lose your character for the turn now, from taking damage from his leadership, is a huge improvement.
I
To
think
his
that
play.
was the biggest problem with his original design
Yeah,
is that you could have a character just get knocked out during the power phase.
yeah. Uh, like Brandon said, he's getting played a lot now, uh, and he's doing well. I think for the month of November, he was like one of the top teams. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Okay, then. Yikes. Dormammu Ascendant. Steven, what do you think about these changes?
Well, I think these changes allow him to be more flexible with his team. I would say, having 22 health is kind of a defense in itself. Also, if you take somebody like Okoye, their bodyguard's online round 1, and just blew her to Dormammu, basically, to just take hits off of him, basically. And that's a 2-point investment, and that's not very hard. So, the other thing, it looks like that all these outer dimension characters are getting skulls added into an attack roll. And knowing that I believe it was the last mini extravaganza, they had Dormammu's picture and the original Ghost Rider's picture up. I kind of expect Ghost Rider is going to get touched at some point in time to have that happen.
Okay. Yeah, so we need to give a new letter grade to Dormammu. I don't remember what I gave him last time. I do know that he has been an underperformer as an 8 threat model for a while, and he needed some sort of adjustment. So I think that he's in a much better place in the current meta than he used to be, and this errata is also an enormous help. I'm up on him. I think he's a B plus. He might be higher than that. Brad, what do you want to give to Dormammu?
I like your B plus. You're actually nailing it lately, Fred.
That's that's shocking. That's shocking to hear. Steven, what are you going to give to Dormammu?
I'm at a solid B. It seems that there are some scenarios that he would be good on, like the lower point ones, like 16. But in this new environment, you don't have to play 16 if you don't want to. So I think he starts suffering the higher the points values go.
Okay. And Brandon, what do you think here?
I'm gonna give my boy a solid A.
Solid A. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's our recalibration on Dormammu after his errata. We do have a segment here. I'm going to throw it to Brad. We're going to talk about deployment, about the new deployment rules and how they affect how we have to think about it. So, Brad, why don't you take it away?
Why am I leading on this discussion? All right, so
I
this idea was given
okay.
to us before the changes, but I think it's actually a very interesting time to talk about this anyway because of the changes. So now that you do not know if you're getting the first activation of the game or not when you deploy your models, what do you do? And I have not changed what I do at all, pretty much. Because I was never doing the safe grab stuff or anything like that anyway. I guess I'll go through kind of my thought processes and then, I don't know, we can see what other people think. I always try to set up for my game plan mostly. Like, I don't really worry about what my opponent's doing, which maybe isn't the best. But I will look for who can I put on the midline if there is a midline grab that will survive. So someone like Psylocke is very likely to survive the midline. Or who can be a little further away. So Toad, and I'm sure this is very common if you're playing Toad, I can move Toad up early, and he can be further away from my opponent's models if he grabs something. So I look for that. And then the other thing I look for is if I have a non-favorable matchup between one of my models and one of theirs, I try to avoid that. So something like if I had Venom and they had a Cable, I would try to make sure that I didn't set up my Venom near their Cable, like across from their Cable. I'd try to get
Sounds pretty smart.
far away from it. So stuff like that, where it's just like, or Beast doesn't have good energy defense, try to keep him away from energy people. Stuff like that. And then there's one more thing. I just thought of it. If I have something like 2 sources for Incinerate, I want to split those up onto the flanks. Or if they have a similar attack. So like I was talking about playing Cyclops and King Black Bolt earlier. And they have very similar kits. Energy attacks and an ability to move allied models. I make sure that they're split on the flanks so that I have that tech in 2 different places.
Okay. I mean, that is smart deployment. That is how to best utilize your forces.
Those are the things I think about. And I know that that is not the same as other people.
Right.
So
I think, like, one of the things that deployment really is dependent on is the quote-unquote safe grab. There are several models that can pull this off. A long mover with a medium-sized base can move once, grab something from the midline that's directly across from them, and then move back if the thing that they're grabbing allows it. Because obviously, senators, you couldn't do that. The not being able to guarantee that you are going to go first might mean that your safe grab target gets snatched away from you. And so, obviously, with the new rules, it's going to change how the way that the safe grab affiliations, the people who have access to Namor, to Amazing Spider-Man, to Quicksilver. Quicksilver is a safe grabber. Will have to adjust to the new norm, and that means that the safe grab might be kind of going out of style. it's still going to be possible. I think if you are dependent upon it, you still set up for it. Because if you go first, you can still pull off your safe grab, but you can't guarantee it now. I think that's probably a good place for the game to be, where it's less of a given that the safe grab is immediately available to certain characters.
So
Brandon, you
so on that point, I don't play safe grabs anymore.
okay? Yeah, I
And
think
I'm
I
not
think that
saying I'm not saying you shouldn't. Setting up a model in like a dead end of the board and losing a safe grab, I think is just more detrimental than not. Um, so like in a scenario where you have like that center point, which is usually the one you use like for a safe grab, like I can set up a model in a situation to be like a bulkier model that I know isn't going to get just taken out in that position versus a safe grab who can go up and grab it and come back. And just because all I do is double move and grab the point, if I do win priority, I'm fine with if they're going to put all their resources into that center point. Um, a model I've done that with a lot in the past is like Shadowland Daredevil, like moving him to the center and then putting him in the center. Usually is like he's tough to kill. And I've just leaned further into that versus planning ahead, trying to plan out a safe grab. Because sometimes the models that are doing those safe grabs aren't really helping you out the rest of the game. Like their whole plan is to do that safe grab.
I think that I think that you're correct, and you might be uh, on the leading edge of things. It may be a case that the whole safe grab concept goes out the window. Like there are characters that are brought only for the safe grab because it gives you such a step up on your opponent that you may just not bring them if it's not a guarantee. It is.
Yeah,
It's an
having a
interesting
model
conundrum.
that isn't a part of my game plan now being in the game and not being able to do the one thing it's supposed to do feels real bad.
Yeah, yeah, that is absolutely true. Steven, is there anything that you want to add into this discussion?
I think your safe grabbers now start shifting from those three particular characters, Namor, Spider-Man, and Angela. I think it shifts over to your large base medium movers, to be honest, um, because you can set them up in the middle and they can double move to either side. I experienced that with Abomination. He picked up a hammer that was right in front of him when I set him up, walked him twice, and picked up a hammer on my left flank. However, there was an option if I did lose the roll that if he went up and grabbed it, grabbed something with Namor, I could have gone to the right side. So I believe your large base medium movers are going to become more valuable in this new scenario.
Okay.
There are 3 in the entire game,
Mm-hmm.
which is a 5 threat, a 6 threat, and 8 threat.
No, you forgot.
There's got to be.
There's Hulkbuster, Apocalypse, Abomination, and Dormammu.
The cheapest is a 5 threat. I don't think that's the case. Like the 5 threat splashes are worse, and those models again aren't doing as much for the rest of the game plan.
Ghost Rider also
But
does it, by the way.
yeah,
So there's actually 5. So I don't know. I found very in that situation, Abomination was very, very relevant. So
I mean, Abomination is. He's going to fit a lot of game plans, I think. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
if you're playing Criminal Syndicate, you're playing Abomination for sure.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so we've discussed the differences. I don't think that I have as well defined as an ethic to deployment, mostly because I'm bad at this game. But I do tend to deploy based off of what my opponent does. Like, I see what's hitting the table, and I know that they're going to be throwing out a model that's bad for one of my models, so I hold that one back till the end. Oftentimes that doesn't matter because they may deploy last, but I don't have as well defined of a deployment um, method. I play jazz. I just put them where I feel like they belong, and oftentimes I'm wrong. So, yeah, we shouldn't be listening to me talk on this subject.
Fred, if you're finding yourself going up against people who deploy against somebody who's really, really bad, my suggestion is that your first action with that character should be shift them to the center if they're on a flank, or if they're in the center, shift them to the flank.
Yeah, just run away. Just play keep away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else that we should discuss on this subject? I feel like that we may have. This was a little bit broad. We came at it and
There's a lot
spoke on
more
a
to
couple
think
different
about now.
subjects. There is a lot more to think about now.
Or less to think about if you're Fred.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just got to do the thing, and if it works, it works.
And Brad's method didn't change at all with the change of the. Yeah.
Mine didn't change as much. Like I didn't play a lot of safe grabs, but I did endure Mamu, and I almost immediately took him out. So.
Okay. All right. Well, it is a changing game, and we have to adapt to the way that the rules are shifted. Okay. All right. So let's move right along to the character that we are here to cover today. That character being Star-Lord, otherwise known as Peter Quill, as I pull him up. Gosh darn it. There's so many S's in this game. There's Star-Lord. I found him.
There's also a search feature on the app.
I found him. His defensive stats are 3, 3, and 3. He has 6 stamina on both sides of his card now. This is a brand new errata to him, so it kind of works out that we're doing him now. 6 stamina on both sides of his card. He has a threat value of 3, which will seem crazy. He is a size 2 and a medium mover. He is on a small base, and he is the leader for the Guardians of the Galaxy affiliation. Brad, why don't you do his attacks?
First attack, energy, element gun. Range 4, 5 dice, cost 0, gain power equal damaged out. Energy, full auto. Range 4, 7 dice, cost 3. Wild, elemental blast. After this attack is resolved, for each wild in the attack roll, the defender gains one of the following special conditions: bleed, shock, slow, or stun.
All right, Steven, why don't you do his affiliation leadership?
Sure. We have Winging It affiliation, Guardians of the Galaxy. During the power phase, choose up to 3 allied characters. Each chosen character gains 1 Winging It token. While the character with a Winging It token is attacking, defending, or dodging, it may spend a Winging It token during the modified dice step to reroll up to 2 of its dice. At the end of the round, remove all Winging It tokens from characters.
All right, and Brandon, why don't you finish out the card?
He has the active superpower Hit and Run for 2. It's an action. This character immediately makes an attack action followed by a move action. It can only be used once per turn. He has Plucky Attitude. When attacking, if this character rolled no hits, and it may reroll all of its current attack dice. When defending, if this character rolled no shields, it may reroll all of his current defense dice. He has Flight, and he is a Gem Bearer of the Power Stone.
Okay. So that is Star-Lord. And I mean, first off, this 3-threat model is an absolute house that just caught a buff to his health. Like, he's already amazing. I think that he's very good. And suddenly he's healthier than he was before, too. The one of the biggest strategies I've had for fighting um, against the Guardians of the Galaxy is to kill Star-Lord. Kill Star-Lord because he is a very important part of their game plan, and suddenly he now has more health than he had before. So, oh boy, I feel like he's very good now. What are your thoughts on Star-Lord, Steven? I'm gonna throw it to you.
As a leader, he's really, really good because he's hard to get to with that hit and run. So he can just fire away, and then if he gets enough power, he just says, "Okay, out of here, bye." So, yeah, going after Star-Lord is you have to dedicate to him, because otherwise he's going to be around for the whole game as long as it lasts. So, and his plucky attitude comes in more often than you think.
Okay, I have seen it come up. It is anything that lets you have a free reroll. That if you don't get any successes on the roll, you can just be like, I guess I'll just re-roll everything. That's cool. That's cool. It isn't no successes, because if you roll like a wild and nothing else, you have to re-roll that wild too. But it is still, it's a neat little added both offensive and defensive tech. What are your thoughts on this, Brandon? What are your thoughts on this character?
I enjoy living in a world where I don't have to play Guardians of the Galaxy all that often, and I wanted it to continue, but apparently it's not going to.
No. I think that he's going to see a resurgence for a couple reasons. So for those of you who are following our podcast, I'm going to lift the veil here a little bit. We had a debate as to whether or not to do Adam Warlock, which we do have the rules for, but it is likely that he is going to have a leadership card, and we don't want to do him until we know what that is, because that's such an integral part of what he is. So we're going to hold off on doing him, and we're instead doing the other leader in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. I feel like a character who is a fantastic character at a 3-threat value. Well, Brad, do you have anything to speak on Star-Lord here?
He's really annoying. He doesn't actually have that much output, but
I don't agree.
Personally,
okay.
It's a 5-die
He
attack most of the time.
He has a 7-die spender for 3 power. That's good. And it's range 4 and energy, which is better.
But
it's good.
You want to hit.
Good.
You want to spend your power hitting and running.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So he occasionally puts some damage out, but mostly he's like plinking away at you over the game. But with hit and run, he's hard to get to take down, and you really do need to take him out because of those winging it tokens. They changed the math enough that it makes okay models really good and really good models broken, and you just want him off the table, but you gotta get to him and take him out. It's just really hard, and now it's even harder.
This affiliation has single-handedly nerfed so many models in this game.
This affiliation is why Cosmic Ghost Rider caught as big of a nerf as he did.
Yep.
Yeah, and is
Uh,
literally unplayable now, basically.
right. They had to make him. They had to ruin him because this affiliation was using him so brutally. Uh, this leadership. Let's talk about this leadership because I don't think we've given it enough. I mean, I feel like this is one of the better leaderships in the game. It's not the best, but it's up there. It's pretty good. Being able to it benefits someone who knows who's smart enough at the game to be able to plan out the turn and know where they are going to need the winging it tokens.
So Fred's
And if
never gonna play
you
this affiliation.
that is accurate. That is hey, I know that I'm not good at this, and that is why I will never play this affiliation. uh, yeah, if you are able to plan out the turn accurately, you can really use these winging it tokens to high effect. I think that it's a big shift in the way that your team will activate, and oftentimes your leadership, if you have a really good turn, you'll activate it 3 or 4 times. It just across the board, any leadership in a round. This leadership, it will activate probably 3 times every single time. You'll use every single use of it. That's not a guarantee because you may hold on to a winging it token and then never get attacked. I don't know. I don't know what the point is I'm trying to make. I'm just very happy about this leadership. I think it's a good one. What do you does?
Okay,
What do you
go
think
ahead.
about?
I'm sorry.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Winging it tokens are terrifying on Yondu
Yeah, yeah. On Yon,
because
yeah.
because he gets that reroll if he's holding something also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, terrifying on
Maybe,
Yondu.
maybe I think Fred should play this army or this affiliation just because I want to play against somebody who's playing and putting winging it tokens on a character who may not attack or be attacked in a turn.
You want practice against this affiliation with someone who's misusing the winging it tokens?
Yeah, yeah. I just want to play against someone who's really bad playing this affiliation. Because the idea of that you would put it on someone who may not get attacked and lose it would mean that you're also putting on someone who is not in a situation to attack anybody, and that feels real bad.
What I meant is that you could use it defensively. Like it is something that could be used defensively. You may need it to keep someone alive if you feel like someone could survive if they had a good defensive dice roll. Okay, whatever. Let's move on.
To be fair, if they're not attacking you because you have a winging it token, you're kind of using the winging it token.
That's true. That's true. Let's discuss some Guardians of the Galaxy specific tactics cards because Guardians of the Galaxy have a bunch. They actually have fewer than they used to because they used to have Crew of the Milano, but that was too good. That was too good for them to have. They have one that I want to talk about right now, which is an amazing card called Lovable Misfits. And any any number of allied Guardians of the Galaxy characters may spend 1 power each to play this card. Each character that played this card rolls 1 dice. This isn't even the one that I thought I was talking about, but this one is a very good card. Rolls 1 dice. If they roll a crit or a wild, they may immediately either make an attack with a power cost of 0 or gain 2 power. If they roll a hit, enemy characters within range 3 of this character holding or contesting an objective token suffer 1 damage. If they roll a shield or a blank, they may immediately advance short. If they roll a skull, the character and all other characters within range 2 gain the stun special condition. Complete each character's roll in the order of your choosing before moving to the next. This card is amazing. Anything that gives you additional attacks is really like it's a force multiplier, and they have other cards that give extra attacks, like Rocket Raccoon and Groot have the card that gives Rocket Raccoon a bunch of extra attacks. So being able to use this card and the Rocket Raccoon card, Rocket Raccoon could make something like 6 attacks in a round. And I feel like that's just incredible. What do you guys think about this card?
It's a gamble. But that's
Okay,
the Guardians
yeah.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, you could whiff out. You could get nothing, or you could stun yourself. That's true.
Last time I saw this card played, I think the person did it for 3 people, and it was stun themselves and one of their allies, stun themselves and nobody else, and then a free move. Or something like that.
Okay. So it is a bit of a roll of the dice, shall we say?
Literally, Fred.
Literally.
I think their other card is actually better.
Yeah, I was. That's the one that I meant to pull up, and I pulled up the wrong one, but I figured we should go over it. Okay, the other one, Galaxy's Greatest. The Guardians of the Galaxy active tactics card. Up to 4 injured allied Guardians of the Galaxy characters may spend 2 power each to play this card. Characters that spent power to play this card gain a Big Dumb Hero token. Characters with a Big Dumb Hero token add 1 die to their attack and defense rolls. This is great. All of your wounded people become Big Dumb Heroes and roll just an additional attack. Just that it raises the floor of their attacks and their defense rolls. I mean, that's really good.
So here's an interesting question. If they would not have printed this card, would Cosmic Ghost Rider have gotten nerfed as hard as he did? Because this card was in his pack.
I don't know.
Come on, Fred. You're supposed to have all of the answers.
If you're looking at me for answers, then you are looking in the wrong place. I don't know, man. Like, I think the Cosmic Ghost Rider, just the math of him with Guardians of the Galaxy was the thing that kind of broke it. This certainly helped him a lot. I don't think this is the card that broke him. You know. What do you guys think about this card? I think this card's amazing. How about you, Brad?
This is the every game card.
This is the This card is. There's no downside. It's just your guys who are injured become a lot better. Yeah. Brad, what do you think about this?
Yeah, take this card. It's a good one.
Yeah, and Brandon.
Yeah, you should probably play it, or don't play it if you're playing me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we need to give a letter grade to Star-Lord. Oh, and also one more thing. I don't think you ever take him with the Power Stone. Like, I think that almost goes without saying. He doesn't.
You used to when you didn't have to attach it to him in the roster.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's it. But yeah, you're correct. You probably shouldn't know.
You don't take him with the Power Stone now, under the current rules of the game. Okay, so he's a 3-threat model. He's got good attacks. They're both energy, a 5 and a 7 for 3 power. He's got good movement. He's got hit and run. He has 12 health, which is well above the curve for a 3-threat model. He has a great leadership. This model is outstanding. A+. Brad, what do you think about Star-Lord?
Without his leadership, B-. With his leadership, A-.
Okay. Steven, what do you think here on Star-Lord?
I'm with Brad at an A-, definitely.
Okay, and Brandon, what have you got?
With Mr. Positivity here, I agree with you, Fred.
Okay. Okay. Shocking. Shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
He rules. He rules. Uh, all right, Brad. Do you have any comic books that feature Mr. Peter Quill here?
I do. I have 3 suggestions today. The first one is Marvel Premiere number 4 by Bill Mantlo and Ed Hannigan. And this is the first appearance of Star-Lord. So when Peter Quill was born, his mother's husband saw the resemblance of the baby to Jason of Spartax. Is it Spartax? I have a typo. I don't remember. And tried to kill him with an axe. But he had a heart attack and died.
Oh no.
Then, as a child, Peter sees a UFO and goes to tell his mom. And the UFO kills his mom right in front of him.
Wow.
No,
Jeez.
no one believes him about this. So he grows up to be an astronaut, and that goes rough for a while. But eventually, he gets to go to his space station, and then an alien. I think he was called the Master of the Sun, comes to Earth and asks for an Earthling to become the Star-Lord, space superhero. And Peter is not chosen, so he injures the guy that's chosen and steals a spaceship and flies off and volunteers, and becomes Star-Lord. And the whole reason he does that is so he can get revenge on the aliens that killed his mom.
Huh. Huh. Okay. I didn't realize that was. I like. I'll be honest. I like the movie version a lot better.
Well,
But, okay,
the
sorry.
movie version is a lot different. Just
It is a lot
him
different.
as a character is a lot different.
Yes. Yes.
Before the movie, Peter Quill was not a person who made jokes. He was a person that busted a cap in your ass, and was just not very nice person, I guess. Anyway, later he shows up sporadically in comics until Annihilation Conquest Star-Lord. This is by Keith Giffen and Timothy Green II. The Phalanx has taken over Hala, and I'm not going to explain what that means. And
It's bread. It's a nice bread that's very delicious.
they need some low-tech heroes to infiltrate the planet and take out the factory where they are making infestation bombs to infect other planets. Star-Lord is chosen because of his familiarity with low-tech weapons, because he's from Earth. And by low-tech, instead of laser guns, he goes in with a couple of Uzis, low-tech Earth weapons.
Okay.
And he's joined by a ragtag group, including a talking bug named Bug, who's from the Microverse, as seen on Quantum Mania, strangely enough. Rocket Raccoon, a tree named Groot, and a couple of other people that don't really matter because no one listening is gonna know who they are. And
Okay.
this series leads right into Guardians of the Galaxy by Dan Abnett, Annie Lanning, and Paul Pelletier.
I know one of those names.
You sure do, Fred. So, the heroes of the Annihilation Conquest joined forces to protect the galaxy and make sure nothing like that happens again. It does anyway. This is the series that inspired the movie originally. But they changed like almost everyone's personality. The team is Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Drax, Gamora, Quasar, Phyla-Vell. Quasar, the Phyla-Vell version of Quasar. There we go. That's more sense. Adam Warlock and Mantis. We are so close to having all of these people in the game. So close.
We don't have Mantis?
We will not have Mantis. She has not been
Uh-huh.
announced yet, but everyone else we've got there.
Am I wrong in saying that we don't have this version of Drax though?
No, this is the post-transformed Drax. It is this version of Drax.
Okay.
Before Annihilation Conquest, or before Annihilation, the crossover that came before this one, he was old Drax, and in one of those two events, he turns into the Drax we know today.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the right version of Drax for the game. Yeah. This series is great. I love this series.
Is that Dan Abnett? I mean,
Yeah.
he's a good writer.
Yeah. Have I told the story about that DC comic I read? I was reading this Justice League. I think it was called Justice League Odyssey. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. And like, I'm reading it, and like as I read it, I'm like, this is actually like really good, like crazy good, and I should like pay attention to who writes this. And I start the next issues, and I'm like, I'm gonna look at who writes it. Dan Abnett. I was like, of course it is. No wonder
There it
I'm
is.
liking this book so much.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it. Those are three.
Okay. The only thing that's left is my non sequitur recommendation. So this is one I really struggled with, y'all. I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy is probably it's definitely one of the best Marvel movies. I think the first one and the second one even are two of the upper tier Marvel movies that have come out. And that makes it such a shame. I was really racking my brain to come up with something that starred Chris Pratt, the person who plays Star-Lord, that I wanted to recommend, and I honestly couldn't. Like, what do I do? Do I say go watch the old Parks and Rec episodes? I don't think so. Like,
Yes,
I love
they're
that show.
good.
That show is great. Maybe go watch Parks and Rec. His career is so bizarre because he's only in huge blockbuster movies that are, aside from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which I think are pretty unimpeachably good, they are soulless and devoid of any. All his other movies are soulless and devoid of any sort of internal heart or quality. Like, I am not a fan of the Jurassic World movies. I think they're pretty bad. I don't like them at all, and so I'm not gonna do one. What?
Red, I have a suggestion. You didn't like the Magnificent Seven remake?
You know what? I did like the Magnificent Seven, but I didn't like Chris Pratt in it. I
thought
like that
I thought he was the heart of the show when he did a sacrifice.
when he like lit a dynamite stick and threw it at the. I did like that scene. That scene was good. Here is you did that is a good Magnificent Seven is a good movie. The remake of it. That is something to watch. Here is what I came specifically to recommend. The new Knives Out movie is out. I love the Knives Out movies. They are just like cozy murder mystery movies, which are a lot of fun. And it's fun to watch Daniel Craig affect a Southern accent as hard as he is affecting one. I do really enjoy this one as well. It's quite good. It's a very good movie. So that is Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man is the name of the movie. That is what I'm going to recommend that people watch. And that's it for our show. So thank you to Brandon had to head off, unfortunately, but I want to thank him for joining us today. And I also want to thank Stephen and Brad for sticking with us to the end of the show. And thank you, everyone out there who is currently listening. Thank you for making it to the end of the episode. I know most people turn it off before this point, but hey, if you're sticking it out, big thanks to you. And I hope that everyone out there has a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye, everyone.